Tied up after 40 minutes. The Whalers had the lead after 20 minutes tonight, but Quebec scored the only goal of the second period, despite the fact that the Whalers outshot the Nordiques by a wide margin of 16-7, and they have the advantage 29-16 in the hockey game. But Quebec's goal came at 7:59. John O'Grodnick with his second of the series, and he blasted in a pass by Picard on the power play. All three Quebec goals have come on the power play, and Jerry, they say in the playoffs, it's goaltending and special teams, and Quebec certainly had both areas working well for them in this period.
Well, obviously, if the Whalers expect to win this game, they don't want to take any penalties in the third period because the Quebec power play is awesome, as we witnessed in this game and throughout the series. As far as the goaltender getting hot, Gosselin was very good in the second period, and obviously much better than he was in the first period because the Whalers didn't score. I think at even strength, I can't yell too loud as the people are cheering, but at even strength, the Whalers are all over them. But there's a lot more to the game than playing at even strength.
Now, going into the third period, you've got to figure Quebec is really going to be lifted by what happened in the second, and the Whalers have to certainly plan on stemming the tide here. Well, how do they go about it?
Well, I think the Whalers are going to have to play this third period very conservatively, because that's the way the Nordiques are going to play it. Like the Nordiques got a lift from killing when they were down 2 men. The Whalers are a little depressed. But what's going to happen if they don't get frustrated, they're going to have to outweight the Nordiques. The Nordiques are very good that are bringing 3 or 4 or 5 guys back at times, waiting for the break. Show some poise, the Whalers have to. Do not open it up. Let them outweight the Whalers. That's their best chance.
Jerry, you made the remark over the weekend on power play situations with the Nordiques holding the advantage. The Whalers really didn't make too many mistakes shorthanded, except for perhaps one goal over the weekend. How is the penalty killing faring here? Are they doing a pretty good job by and large? Is it just Quebec overpowering them or what?
Well, they got 3 power play goals, Rex, even though maybe a couple of the goals weren't great goals by any means too. But the Nordiques are waiting for that quality shot, and I don't think the Whalers are playing aggressive enough, killing the penalties. I think they're giving Peter Stastny, Anton Stastny, the guys that can handle the puck, too much time to come up with the play. I think you got to go at them, and if there is a flaw in their penalty killing, is the fact that they're giving the Nordiques too much time to fabricate some sort of a good scoring opportunity.
Well, the Whalers had the 3-2 lead after one period, but the Nordiques have come back to tie it up here at the second intermission. When we come back, we hope to be visiting with the Whalers president and general manager, Emil Francis. Quebec has come from behind to tie this game up. It's been a wild one, and certainly special teams have dominated in this game. Quebec has scored on 3 of 7 power play opportunities, while the Whalers have converted on only 1 of 7 opportunities, including a lengthy 2-man advantage. And we're going to show you some penalty killing by the Nordiques later on in this segment. As we had hoped to visit with Emil Francis, we hope he comes up and joins us here before the intermission is out and get his impressions on this series. Jerry, let's look at the goal scored by John O'Grodnick. As you mentioned, this is a goal scorer's goal, and he tied it.
He certainly did, but one of the keys to this goal, Rick, is a great pass by Dale Hunter. And when he got it over to O'Grodnick, he just backed off a little bit and threw it over both Ladouceur and Liu. And as I said, they got this guy for one reason, and it's to get goals like this, because a lot of guys could not fall back and stick it up top. He's a good goal scorer.
Now that came fairly early in the period, and the score remained tied at 3 for the rest of the period, but not before some power play opportunities came about on both sides. But the Whalers certainly were frustrated later in the period on the 2-man advantage, and Gosselin came up with some marvelous stops. But as you mentioned, Quebec in front of him played pretty well.
They did. They knew what they were doing, and everything seemed to go up to Babbage at the point. This is the first save. This is the right pad save that Gosselin made. It's going to end up with Babbage again, and he's going to turn, go to his forehand, and try and make the pass, which he does over to Turgeon, or I should say Ferraro. One save. Now the play's going to go to McEwen, who comes in off the point. He makes another save, and he'll end up back to Babbage again. Now this is where the net's going to come off the Mearings as Babbage blasts it. He makes a save. Gosselin loses his balance. Watch his right foot. He scoops the puck in the corner. The Nordic defenseman falls into the net and says, I'm here, I might as well take the net off because we certainly need a rest.
Jerry, the Nordiques are not regarded as one of the quickest teams in the National Hockey League, but in getting the job done in that situation, they certainly had the smarts going for them.
They certainly did. If you're not quick, you have to be smart. Gillis and Cote, who was in the box for most of that penalty, Peter Stastny, they're not really quick, but they have high intelligence. And when you have intelligence, I think that's one of the best attributes to have when you're a penalty killer, is being smart. And they exactly played it smart. They allowed Babbage to have a few shots from the points as long as they took the guys in front of the net. And they did an excellent job of killing the two-man power play advantage the Whalers had. If the Nordiques go on and win this game, they can certainly look back to that minute and 30 seconds, I guess it was, that they killed and say that's the reason we won the game.
Well, the Whalers had the 2-0 advantage in this series. Quebec rebounded to tie it, creating a best-of-3. And we've got a new hockey game. It's down to 1 period. I guess the Whalers have to look upon it as they did the first period. Let's come out strong.
They play like they did in the first period, Rick. They'll win the game. I don't think it's going to be that easy. As I said at the start of the intermission, is that Quebec is going to lay back. They're going to play very tight defensively. They won't open it up. They're going to wait for the Whalers to make a mistake, probably at the blue line of the Nordiques, by the defenseman staying in, being anxious. They can't be over-anxious because Stastny, Ogrodnik, and Michel Goulet can burn you. They're natural goal scorers, and they're going to wait for that opportunity. If you're the Whalers, you get the message across that we got to be as firm and as patient as the Nordiques, and we'll win this game.
Okay, Jerry, we'll see what happens with the third period. We'll catch you up on what's happening out of town in Stanley Cup action when we come back. First-round series in Stanley Cup play have ended. The Canadiens have moved on to the division finals, and they're awaiting the winner of this one. And, of course, Detroit eliminated Chicago, but that means there's still 5 other series going on. Jerry, what's happening so far tonight?
Well, the first one, Rick, is in Philadelphia, and they hold a 2-1 lead over the Rangers, and that's just like over halfway through the game. A win by Philly will give them a 3-2 edge. Washington's looking to send the Islanders packing. They got behind 2-0, but they've scored 2 second-period goals to tie the game, and they're halfway through the game. Toronto and St. Louis on a goal by Federico. That's a horse trainer, by the way. But they got a goal by Federico to go ahead 1-0, and they're just getting underway out in Edmonton and Calgary.
Never cease to amaze me. Calgary and Winnipeg, as you see, the Jets are threatening to eliminate the Flames tonight. They took the first 2 on home ice in that series. We'll return with third period action here from a sold-out Civic Center in just a moment. It's down to 1 period, maybe, in this one. Game 5 of the series. As you see, we're tied at 3. And for exclusive coverage of the Whalers in action for Game 6, join us from Le Colisée in Quebec City Thursday, April 16th. The Whalers and the Nordiques in Game 6 of the division semifinals. Ahead of the game will be on at 7:15.
Michel Bergeron has made a couple adjustments as the game was going on, and was to put John Ogrodnik at right wing with Michel Goulet and Dale Hunter, leaving a line of Stastny, and I think it was Basil McRae who's playing the other way.
Rashford with a pass out to Hunter. Here's Ogrodnik, big shot, and Liut comes up with the first save of the period. Quenneville quickly sends it off Evanson's stick. There's no icing. Gosselin steers it around for Brown. Babbage is in a race with Goulet. And we get a whistle and an injured Whaler. Is it a Whaler? Can't see who it is along the near boards in the Quebec zone.
I think it's a Nordique. Well, I don't know. You know what it is? Because the Whalers have 5 guys on the ice.
No, it's Brown.
Oh, it's Brown. It was a Nordique.
He's up and around, and he's a little angry.
Let's see what happened right here, Rick, on the replay. As a Whaler defense tries to pinch in right here, but Brown shoots it up. Oh my goodness, I see the stick come around, and Kowarski wasn't looking, but that is, I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. When he didn't call Gillis, he didn't call, I believe it was Tippett.
He'll have to go off for repairs. Young Jeff Brown, who's played very well in this series. So for the time being, they'll be without him.
I keep thinking what Michel Bergeron told us at an exhibition game. You will love Brown. Brown will be our answer to Raymond Bourque. He will be the defenseman that will take charge and be our quarterback. When I picked up the Hockey News or something in February, he was in Fredericton. But he's brought him back, and he's shown a lot of confidence in him because he's certainly played a lot, and he's played excellent during this series.
Whaler fans coming from all over the state. We've got some here from Thomaston.
What state's that? Connecticut? Thomaston, Connecticut?
Yes, it is. Dean Evison controls that draw. Here comes Babbage. Hunter ties up Evison. Quenneville keeps it in. Lets the shot go. Glove by Gosselin. And he'll hang on.
That was a little Hoyt Willem knuckleballer going towards the net. Let's watch it right here as the puck is going to come off the boards, and Joel's going to play it and turn. And you see the puck's on edge right here, and he was lucky to get this net. Look at the one bounce. And it bounced right into Gosselin's glove. They're not as easy as Gosselin made it look. If this took a second bounce, he was in a little trouble because he had no body behind that glove. But he's very quick boy.
Whalers have the Lawless, Francis, and Deneen line on. Backed up by Mike McEwen and Babbage. Like a power play unit out there.
Quebec's got Gillis, Eagles, and Cote out there. Strange move by Jack, having these guys go against them.
Alan Cote with a pass for Eagles. It's dug away by McEwen. Deneen gives it to Francis, poked away by Alan Cote. Deneen is wrapped up by Picard, one of many times they have met in the 5 games. We've just gone past the 1-minute mark here in the third period. Francis sends it over to Babbage. Babbage takes the shot. It's off Picard and well up into the seats. 18:47 remaining in the third, and the Whalers and the Nordiques are tied in Game 5.
We're looking at Kevin Deneen, and he's going to be going against Anton Stastny, which we haven't seen very much during this series. But I think that's a big edge to Deneen versus Anton Stastny.
Picard lost the handle. Sylvain Cote drives it back in. The Whalers get back on side. Silted looks for Lane Lambert. He's covered by Quenneville. Here's Lawless shooting. Save by Gosselin. Picard will send it down the ice. No icing. D'Amico waved it off. Liut tees it up for young Sylvain Cote. Nice pass to Deneen. He's got Lawless busting in there. The pass is just behind him. Comes right back to Kevin. But it's taken over by Peter Stastny. And a poke check by Quenneville. He's been outstanding tonight. Deneen charges back. Rochefort with good speed. Rochefort out for Lambert. Lambert last year this time was playing for Kevin's father, Bill Deneen, in the American Hockey League. They became the Calder Cup champion and Adirondack Red Wings this time last spring. We've got a penalty coming up to Deneen for dumping Peter Stastny, heading for the bench. And it's a delayed call, and we will get the whistle. Cross-checking indicated, and we've got a slash as well. I don't know if they both go against the Whalers. We'll find out when we come back with 2.5 gone.
26. Rick, the Whalers have got 2 minors, Deneen for cross-checking, Ferraro for slashing. And while all this was taking place, Michel Goulet come on the ice for the goaltender Gosselin on the delayed penalty to Kevin Deneen as we see him limping off. And he went over to the left boards, and he slid into the boards. And I kind of think he damaged his left knee somewhat because he's skating very gingerly on it. Well, here's the cross-check by Deneen as he hits Peter Stastny. It was in an area that sometimes is tough to detect that low, but when Peter Stastny felt it, he took a Dixie right into his bench and forced Kowarski to make the call. And while they had controlled the puck, Ray Ferraro took a slashing call. Right now, now. This is very, very tough situation for the Whalers.
Ray Ferraro, who had 42 minutes in the regular season, has taken 3 penalties in this game.
I did not see who Ferraro slashed.
I didn't either, but I saw Dineen's cross-check, and Koharski saw it as well. And that's Kevin's third. No, it is his second trip to the box. It's been an unlikely squad that have left the Whalers short-handed tonight, I'll tell you, between Evason, Dineen, Ferraro. Turgeon. Big situation for the Whalers here. Quebec is hit on 3 of 7 with a man advantage. They've got the full 2 minutes on the 2-man advantage. Picard shoots, save by Liut. The rebound. Ogrodnik couldn't get it on the net as Quenneville works with Babbage and Jarvis on the penalty-killing unit. Picard to Peter Stastny, the shot, and it hit Ogrodnik. It's cleared by Quenneville. Risto silted it. Liut leaves it for Quenneville. Picard cannot keep it in. He missed it.
They're 1/4 of the way home in this situation.
Racing in, it's Peter Stastny. Back to Ogrodnik. Here's Siltanen. Over to Picard. They've got Lafreniere in front. Picard. Peter Stastny took his eye off the pass, and Babbage will send Quebec back to center. A minute gone on the 2-man disadvantage for the Whalers. Picard with 2 men in front. 3 men in the area. Siltanen shoots, they score. It was tipped in by John Ogrodnik, and the Nordiques are back in front 4-3.
Well, this is just what I was saying. But when it goes to Siltanen, you got to take the guys in front. Now, Siltanen one-timed this, and Ogrodnik to the side of the net. Someone's supposed to have Ogrodnik here. We're going to see the one-timer. We probably won't. Here's the tip by Ogrodnik. The defenseman, we just saw at the right of your screen, he's got to be aware of where Ogrodnik is. But I'll tell you what, Ogrodnik was at such an angle that he was a pretty tough guy to go get.
Siltanen and Picard assist on Ogrodnik's 2nd consecutive goal in this game, his 3rd in the series at .335. And Picard has a 2-assist night going, and so does Siltanen. Risto with 3 assists, and they've still got 38 seconds left on 1 power play opportunity. Quebec is 4 of 8. Here's Evason. Couldn't get it out. Gavin pushes it back to center ice. Michel Goulet races and shoots. He scores. Michel Goulet. The Nordiques lead by 2. They're 5 of 9 on the power play.
Well, the Whalers are certainly going to lean to. He's hurting too right now, Nordin. But let's look at this shot by Goulet. This is at a sharp angle, but he can let him go from anywhere. Goulet's right at the dot, and he draws it. And this hit a stick, I believe, Rick, or it shot up awful funny to go past Liut. Let's take another look at it. No, it didn't hit a stick. It just sort of, I guess, fooled Mike Liut. Well, obviously, Rick, as I was saying before we were watching Goulet score, that the Achilles heel is certainly the inability of the Whalers to kill off the Nordique power plays. Tough situation, but there's a lot of time.
Michel Goulet scores his 6th goal of the series, his 4th with a man advantage. We'll get the assist for you in a moment. Siltanen gets the only assist. That's his 4th of the hockey game. And the Whalers certainly have dug themselves a huge crater to climb out of here. They trail 5-3 with 15.5 minutes remaining. McEwen leads it for Ferraro. Ferraro puts it back in front. It's taken by Eagles. He gives it to to Dale Hunter. Hunter trying to turn on Babbage, and he sends it off Mike Liut. Goulet doubles it back for Hunter. Ogrodnik waits for the pass. It's deflected away to Anderson. Babbage sends it by Turgeon. Goulet can't maneuver through. Hunter sends it back to center. Picard dumps it in. The Whalers are unbeaten in 7 consecutive games. Their last 7 against Quebec here at home. 6 wins and a tie. And the Nordiques are threatening to break the chain. It has been a homer series through the regular season and thus far in this best of 7. Ladouceur fires it back in. Francis races in for the puck. He's checked by Siltonen. Francis finally had it worked away, and Siltonen will ice it. Ladouceur comes back. 14-17 remaining in the third period, and the Whalers trail 5-3. During the Stanley Cup record for most power plays in one game is 6. Your Bruins did it against the Maple Leafs back in '69. You won it 10-0. Ladouceur is checked by Eagles. Deneen blast through there. 14 minutes to go. Picard lifts it out, and it's by Gillis and down the ice. You remember that game?
Yep. We won 10-0. Maple Leafs outshot us 55-13.
And who was in net?
Eddie Johnson.
EJ, who is the general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins and will be next year. Yes, the Penguins are making a coaching change, but not any further changes. Here's Gavin leaving it. Edmondson shoots. Goal!
Rick, never count the Whalers out. They got too much character, too much class. Stu Gavin left a terrific drop pass for a very fresh Dean Evason as he just comes on the ice. And he just hits it right off the right post. A very accurate shot. I don't even think Osmond was napping in this. I originally thought he was. But this shot was right on the screws. It went right off the right goal post and into the net. Great shot. A lot of time, 13.5 minutes.
And it's 5-4. 6:32, the time of Dino's second playoff goal. Gavin and Ladouceur assist on it. Wendell keeps it in. Tippett in front. He couldn't maneuver around. Wendell goes back. Hunter's in a race. Tippett's after it. Hunter gets it around for Moeller. The outlet is read by Gavin. It's lifted into the crowd by Dale Hunter. The Whalers want to keep the pressure on. They've closed to within a goal with under 13 minutes to go.
Quebec took the 2-goal lead. They laid right back, got back on their heels, and said to the Whalers, come to us. I think they might be in a little trouble right now because all they're trying to do is ice it, shoot at the stands, and there's too much time for that.
McEwen shot it. Alan Cote skate. It's recovered by Babbage. We've got a delayed penalty against Quebec. Liu goes to the bench. Francis is the extra man, but Siltonen controls. Koharski signals are up it. At 7:18.
Well, really, neither team has been very smart as far as taking penalties. There's really no need for a roughing penalty. Except that Paul Gillis, I guess, has to take one. It's like a fix for him. Key man to have in that penalty box. Key man. Let's watch from the face-off here, Rick, and see if we'll see why you got the roughing penalty. Right from the face-off. Someone's holding the stick right here. Well, certainly, Ferraro was holding the stick. That type of play does not win hockey games.
Dave Babbage hooks it back to Anderson. In for Ferraro. They've got Turgeon on the slot with Ferraro. Anderson moves it over to Babbage. Good shot. Saved by Gosselin. Rebound is batted in the air. It comes down to Turgeon. Babbage again. Picked off by Gosselin. This time to Picard. Eagles gets it out.
excellent job to make sure there's no second shot. He's just kicking.
Races for it across Southland State, and Michel Goulet cut through for it, and he'll send the Whalers all the way back this time. Deneen, Francis, scamper into action along with Merzen and McEwen. The Whalers, 1 of 7 on the power play. Before this, Merzen's shot is wide as he was hooked a bit by Goulet to throw the shot off. And Goulet, with that bad ankle, is hustling around out there in the short-handed unit. Picard clears it.
He's hurt a little bit, Goulet. I'm surprised to see him up there, but I guess with Gillis in the box.
Hunter's ankle is far from 100% as well. Here's Lawler. He's muscled out of there by Moeller. 30 seconds to go on the Gillis penalty. The Whalers are in this hockey game despite the fact that they have not been able to get it going in special teams. Eagles is checked. It's kept in. Merzen. Francis battles with Moeller. We've got a penalty for hooking upcoming against Quebec. We'll be back. Power play, they're down by 1. 10:53 to go in the third.
On Rochefort, 2 minutes for hooking as he got Ronnie Francis at the side of the net. Let's take a look at it. Here's the shot. These are a couple of the saves by Gosselin. Now we're going to take a look. I guess we don't have a chance to take a look at the hooking penalty. Oh, here's the hooking penalty coming right up here. You see Rochefort right there? He just yanks him down. Good call.
8 seconds left. 2-man advantage. Babbage to drive. Saved by Gosselin. Moeller off the rebound. Gloved it. It comes back to Babbage. Tees it up. The shot's deflected. 1 penalty's over. Peter Stastny clears it. Kershaw puts it back to Ferraro. Anderson had it poked away. 1:35 remaining on the 9th power play chance for the Whalers. They have 1 goal. Anderson with a pass that reaches Merzen. Dane on the backhand. Kershaw steps it on. 3 balls off the net. They still battle for the rebound. Merzen keeps it in. Spreads it out. But he shot it right to Moeller. Both teams change. McEwen. Nice pass to Deneen. Kevin finds Lawler. Francis is front, and he couldn't put the high pass home. Deneen is muscled out of there by Picard. Kevin tries to keep it in. He does. Off the scramble. It's cleared by Eagles. 45 seconds to go in the rush for a hook, and here comes Lawless. Gillis can't stop him. Francis trying to get it back to him, and Picard risks it down the ice. Sylvain Colte's on the power play as McEwen slaps it in. Goulet can't get it out. Deneen can't get a shot. Colte will. Save by Gosselin. He comes after his own rebound. Gillis is checked by McEwen. Francis to Deneen, and he couldn't be up. 12 seconds to go in the penalty. Goulet and Deneen collide. Here's Gillis alone. Save by Liu. McEwen races back. It really opens up. Nordiques are at full strength. Colte can't get a shot. Sylvain Colte. McEwen shooting. Save by Gosselin.
Duke Avenue has had a heck of a series, Rick. And Cote on the right point. Look at this. Look at the smile on his face, and rightfully so. Here's the shot by McEwen. He drives it. Here's the save by Gosselin. Now coming out of the picture is Stu Gavin. He just punches it over Gosselin for the tying goal. And there should have been a penalty after this, as I think it is Finn coming in late. Now watch Stu Gavin. He just tips it right over Gosselin in the net, and he pays the place as he takes a cross-check from Finn. But that's just his glory. Goulet should have had a penalty for lugging down Deneen. What happens? Gillis gets a breakaway because there was no call. Liu makes a great save, and this man goes back and scores. This is a ball game, and I'm hoarse.
Still could be a ways to go, Jerry. Hang in there.
My luck will be about 5 overtimes tonight.
This reminds me a little bit of the first game of the season, where the Whalers trailed 5-2. They roared back in the third period, and it was that man, number 7, Gavin, who tied it up. Quenneville won it before overtime with a shorthanded goal. They beat Calgary 6-5.
See how important it is to have a guy like McEwen at the point who knows enough to keep the shot down, force the young goaltender, Gosselin, as we look at him right now, to make the save. And how important it is to go to the net. And you could tell all day, Rick, that all night, that Gosselin was just kicking. So when that happens, keep the shot down and go to the net.
The two men who are subbing for suspended Samuelson and an injured Kleinendorf, Cote and McEwen, assist on Gavin's second goal to the playoffs. We're tied at 5, and Anton Stastny couldn't dazzle around Cote and McEwen. Tilted it, sends it over to Lambert, and it's brought back with a 2-line pass. Joel Quenneville has played a solid game tonight.
I know one thing, Joel's going to be very, very tired at the end of this contest. Here's the breakaway save. He's going to elect to go to his forehand, but Leo reads him perfectly and didn't have to make the save as he shanked it almost. I mean, he missed his shot. That shouldn't have happened, because the reason that Gillis had the breakaway is because Kevin Demeen was bulldog to the ice by Michel Goulet.
Tippett, Evason, and Gavin, the line that has done it in this third period for the Whalers. They trailed 5-3, and they've come back. They're out there now and stirring it up again. Hunter battles Evason. Stephen Finn. Merzen intercepts. Merzen races in. Good job. Saved by Gosselin. Got behind him and almost went in. Goulet hands it to Hunter. Hunter to Finn, and it's poked away by Ladouceur. He's got Lawless ahead of the pack. He had it poked away. Goulet for the pass. It's kicked away by Kevin Dineen. Then looks for Alan Cote, and he's crunched along with linesman John D'Amico by Ladouceur. Ladouceur checked by Eagles, and he still pulls his way to center. Francis on the steal. Wallace races in. Francis follows up. Gets it back to Dineen. Dineen checked by Picard. What a pair they've been. Tugging and hooking and pulling and crashing into each other all through the series. And you saw a perfect example of how it's gone with those two so far.
I wonder if they're going to the Bahamas at the end of the season for a vacation together. I mean, they've really hooked up in this series.
Ferraro, Anderson, Turgeon come out for the Whalers. Babbage and McEwen on to the fence, and here comes Anderson. Tilted and raced right at him. Rochefort sends it ahead. It's Eagles dropping it. Cote to Rochefort, blocked by Joe Quenneville. Anderson off to the races. He's run off by Moeller. Gosselin way out to clear it, and it's just out of Eagles' reach.
This play is getting frantic right now, Rick. It's a little helter-skelter.
Peter Stastny hooks it back to center. 5:42 to go in the third period. The Whalers, with a tremendous comeback, have erased a 2-goal deficit. Quebec has scored all 5 goals on the power play. Anton Stastny keeps it into Lambert. Peter Stastny to Anton, to Lambert. Gavin, the man on the scene to intercept it. Evason races back with him. The shot is wide. Merzen off the bench gets there in time to keep it in and takes the punishing hit in doing so. The wrist shot is gloved by Gosselin. He'll hang on. Then tangles with Evason and Tippett. And they're kept apart. 5:11 to go in the third. The Whalers and the Nordiques are going right down to the end with this one. The Whalers have that quick line out once again. Tippett, Evason, and Gavin. They've combined for 2 goals in the span of 4:47 to tie this game up.
5-5, 5 minutes left. This is tough on the nerves. I'll tell you one thing, Rick. It's better up here than in the goal or behind the bench. That was tough on the nerves.
Hunter against Evason. The Whalers control. Merzit will take the shot. Kicked out by Gosselin. He springs O'Grodnik, who stumbles. O'Grodnik, who's been a big man on that power play for the Nordiques with 2 goals. Now behind the play, we've got Hunter and Evason. Everybody gets in there, and Evason wants Dale Hunter. You knew Hunter had to get into it at some point here tonight, clean shaven and all.
What this means, Rick, is the fact that Tippett's going to have to go to center with Stu Gavin and right, and either I guess Pat Hughes, or maybe put John Anderson at left wing and put Ferraro, Turgeon, and Pat Hughes, or McDermott at right. And then Pete Evason's a little shaken up here. I hope it isn't his back. I hope, but he doesn't want to leave the game, that's for sure. Hopefully, and this isn't a prejudiced thought, that these penalty minutes are even. I just don't want to see someone get a power play with 5 minutes left in a 5-5 game. And I'll say that for both sides, too.
High sticking and roughing to Hunter. And it is an even call. 4 each. Well, the teams have combined to break a 5-year-old Stanley Cup record for most penalty minutes for 2 teams in a series. That was 560 by Vancouver and Chicago.
Look at Dale Hunter there. He's got a little grin. Isn't he sweet looking?
Maybe he stopped at church on his way to the game. That's why he shaved.
He's like the little imp. You know, did your grandmother ever call you little imp?
Thankfully, no.
Well, that's what Hunter is.
Francis moves into that spot between Gavin and Tippett. So Van Cote and Quenneville back him up under 5 minutes to go in regulation time. It's Risto Siltanen. And he sails it into the crowd and caught a fan who was shaken up a little bit by that pass, and looks like he got hit in the side of the head, perhaps. He's running up the stairs under his own power, but he might be cut. Certainly hope he's all right.
He started to run. He's got a little faint about halfway up the stairs, Rick. Now they're helping him. Always keep your eye on the puck. But who'd ever think that Risto Siltanen, at this stage of the game, would shoot it in the stands?
Of all people, you don't want to get hit by a drive from him. It's sent in by Quenneville. Gosselin plays to Karam. The Whalers really have the legs going. He had to think quick to get rid of that one. Tippett and Jarvis. The little guys are on with Gavin. O'Grodnik sends it out off the stick of Rochefort. Little guys with big hearts. Quenneville out for Jarvis. It's taken by Eagles. Liut leaves it for Quenneville. Lawless finds Kevin Dineen. And Eagles lined him up with a hit. Peter Stastny slips it to O'Grodnik. O'Grodnik has the hot stick for the Nordiques tonight. Eagles lets it go just wide. Quenneville deflected it. Picard with a shot, and that's tipped away by Dineen. Under 4 minutes to go in regulation time. Lawless sends it out to Dineen. Whalers get the team of Ladouceur and Merzin on defensively. Here's Alain Cote. Takes the shot. Saved by the Ute. Ladouceur gets rid of the rebound and belts Cote in the process. Lawless speeds back. Lafreniere cuts it off. Rochefort. Merzen and a step on Lambert, but Ferraro picks it up. 3 minutes to go, third period. Rochefort has a race in his hands. He bodies Turgeon out of there. They both hit the ice, and the puck is covered, and the faceoff should stay in the Quebec zone.
This time of the game, Rick, with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left, they kind of look like the guys with the speed, like Turgeon, Lawless, Goulet on the other side. Kind of looks like they might be the only type of guys who will score now because of their breakaway speed.
The Celtics playoffs are on SportsChannel. Stay tuned next week for dates, time, and teams involved in first-round action. Jarvis, Tippett, Gavin up front. And they go against Peter Stastny, Goulet, and Anton.
A tough assignment at any time of the game, but especially in the last 3 minutes.
Then around for Anton Stastny. Quenneville contains the play, and Muller hurries back at Tippett, managed to swat it away. Muller carries him right out of there. Babbage holds the play in for Gavin. Anton Stastny finds the handle. Quenneville knocks it down. Jarvis steps over the line. Francis is called back into duty with Lawless and Denise. Peter Stastny couldn't swing in there. Quenneville, who seems to own that blue line, cut him off. Babbage sends it in on goal. Steve Finn with a pass ahead for Eagles. Gillis races in against Merzen, and Dana backhands it up among the customers with 1:54 remaining in regulation time.
Rick Dana got a little unlucky. He got Goodwood in that backhand clearing pass and hit the top of the dasher and went into the stands. But making the turn at the point like he was supposed to was Kevin Denis. And the defenseman would have been caught flat-footed, and Kevin would have been away to the races. But it just hit the top and zinged into the crowd. That's happened 4 or 5 times this season. A lot of crazy things have happened. You know, you mentioned the word Stanley Cup, and paranoia sets in and crazy things.
We've had some weird goals, not only in the series, but tonight particularly. The first 2 Quebec goals were strange ones. Then Ferraro ripped one that was in the net and came out through the net. It circled right back around the post and came out. Jarvis sends it ahead for Kevin Deneen. Races it against Picard. Great move on Picard. Deneen had it poked away. Picard at the last instant won that individual battle. Muller ahead for Eagles. 1:35 remaining in regulation time. Turgeon hurries back. Nordiques with a fresh unit on, and here comes Ferraro. Ferraro takes the shot. He tried to freeze Siltanen. This shows played well in this series defensively. Ladouceur back for Anderson. Merzen. It hit Anderson. Deflects to Gillis. Ogrodnik back to Lambert. Here's Gillis. Ogrodnik scores with 1:07 remaining in the third period. John Ogrodnik has completed the hat trick, and it's 6-5.
An unbelievable goal with 1 minute and 7 seconds left because the Whalers had terrific control in the Nordique end, and once again they overpassed it. And by the time the puck got to Dana Merzen, he had hit John Anderson with a shot, and this was a 4-on-2. And here's the pass over to Ogrodnik, and he just slid it past Mike Liu. But the Whalers had possession. Good play by Lambert here. Lambert makes a play over to Gillis, finds Ogrodnik, and he tips it in.
That's the first goal by Quebec that wasn't on the power play. They lead it 6-5 with 1:07 to go, and the Whalers want a timeout.
That was strange also because Dana Marsden, he could have done 1,000 things with it, but he tried to, actually it wasn't even a shot net, it was to the far corner, and he hit John Anderson right on the knee, and out they came. That was a 4-on-2. Let's see if we can see the shot by Marsden right here, and there's it hits Anderson right in the knee, and he goes down like a ton of bricks. And this is Ogradnik. He comes out, he leaves it for Lambert here. He sees Gillis, over to Gillis, and what these three guys are doing on the ice, I'll never know, but all Ogradnik did was tip it in. See who fouled the play up? Rochford. This is a tough situation now.
Anderson couldn't make it back. He limped off and is being attended to by Tom Woodcock on the bench. Got it in the right leg. Looks like right above the shin pad.
There's still 1:07 to be played.
The Whalers erased a 2-goal deficit earlier here in the period with 2 goals in 4:47. But Ogradnik has the hat trick, the 3rd straight game in which a Nordique has a hat trick. Peter Stastny did it on Saturday, Goulet on Sunday, and Ogradnik here tonight. A minute to go in regulation time. Wallace is dumped by Cote. Fans aren't going to get a penalty here. Might as well forget it. Liut goes to the bench, but Siltanen has the puck. Turgeon's the extra man on. Eagles fires, scores. 41 seconds left, and the Nordiques have a 7-5 lead.
Rick, the reason the Nordiques are going to win this game, as we look at Siltanen find Mike Eagles on the left boards, and Eagles just drives it into the open net, is certainly and obviously the success of their power play. Their power play has been certainly awesome. They would not have been in this game if it wasn't for the success of their power play. The fans are going out very saddened right here, but I'll tell you one thing about the Whalers. Every time you think they're on the floor, they bounce back, as they did midway through this 3rd period this evening, and this is a tough loss to swallow, but Thursday in Quebec will be a barn burner.
Siltanen will assist on that goal. That'll give him 5 on the game. And Eagles scores his first, as you saw, at 19-19. Dean Evison, who was the fulcrum of the comeback by the Whalers in this 3rd period, is certainly frustrated by the turn of events in the late going here. Ogradnik scored with 1:07 to go from Gillis and Lambert. And then an empty netter by Eagles makes it 7-5, and the sellout crowd of 15,126 has certainly begun to file out. Liut is back in net. Muller gives it to Rochefort. Backhands it in. Dave Babbage over to McEwen. Babbage gets it into the zone, but it's fired quickly out of there by Eagles with 18 seconds remaining in the game. The Quebec Nordiques will take a 3-2 lead in this best-of-7 series. Gary, earlier in the series, you pointed out how important those odd-number games are. Quebec owns 2 victories in such situations.
You win all the odd-number games in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you're going to win the Stanley Cup. But they won game 3 and 5, and it puts them in the driver's seat.
2 seconds to go. Bergeron has not stopped coaching.
Well, I think he can now. There's only 2 seconds.
He still roars up and down that bench. Jack Evans faces quite a challenge. The Whalers pretty much played their game, Jerry. except for
special teams, Rick. What did the Whalers get? 1 power play?
1 out of 9, and Quebec went 5 of 9. So that was the story as Mario Gosselin is mobbed by his teammates. And the final score, the Quebec Nordiques 7, the Hartford Whalers 5, and we'll return to wrap it up in just a moment. Whalers in the sellout crowd here at the Civic Center to take a 3-2 lead. You see the shots, 14-8 Whalers in the third period, and by the wide margin, nearly 2-1, Hartford had the advantage, but not on the scoreboard. Here's the third period scoring, and we had a total of 5 goals scored. John Ogrodnik's name pops up there at key times. He had the hat trick, and Siltanen had 5 assists. The Whalers came back with a couple of goals. Evison and Gavin combining to bring the Whalers back from a 2-goal deficit after the Quebec Nordiques jumped in front 5-3, Jerry, with 5 power play goals. And you figured that the Whalers, as you see Mike Eagles into the empty net there for the last goal. And it's kind of tough. After surrendering 5 power play goals, the Whalers, maybe some teams would have given up, but the Whalers certainly didn't.
Well, you're really supposed to lose when you give up 5 power play goals, but that didn't seem to bother the Whalers. When they went behind 5-3, Rick, they come back. They worked hard and they tied it up, and it seemed to me that everything was going in their direction. And all of a sudden, Dana Merzen got caught in the blue line. He got a little in between. He was mixed up, didn't know what to do. He just fired it at John Anderson, and it went off John's knee and sent John to the ice, and the Nordiques went up 4-on-2, and that was a lucky break for the Nordiques, but nevertheless, they took advantage of it. And as we looked at the scoring summaries, we saw Ogrodnik's name and Siltanen's name, 2 guys' name I really didn't think you'd be seeing much of in this series.
That is certainly true. Let's pick up the scoring in the third period from the Whaler comeback. They had just surrendered goals on a 2-man disadvantage and trailed 5-3, but Stu Gavin took matters into his own hands.
He makes a great play here by dropping it to Dean Evison and heading towards the net. But this is a tremendously accurate shot by Evison. It goes right off the right post, and as you said, Rick, Stu Gavin set up the play, and this put the Whalers right back in the game. And not only did he set that one up, he got the tying goal, and this is a good shot by McEwen, nice and low, forcing Gosselin to make the save, and it's going to come back out. Cote takes Evison in front, and watch Stu Gavin. He just shovels it right over Gosselin. As Tippett's going to need a cross-check from Finn. But this game's tied, and I said to myself, once again, the Whalers come off the floor, and they're going to win this baby. But as we're going to see, John Ogrodnik put it away for good. As Dana Merzen's going to have the puck in the blue line to the top right of your screen. Panics a little bit right here and wrists it right at John Anderson. He goes down, like I said, and he is obviously hurt. He tries to get up, he can't. And here goes Ogrodnik. He leaves the puck for Lambert. He finds Paul Gillis, who finds Ogrodnik, and he just directs it in the net. I mean, I never thought the winning goal would be Ogrodnik from Gillis and Lambert. I really didn't. But let's go back during the, I think it was January, February, when Quebec traded for John Ogrodnik. They traded him, and tonight made the trade pay off. Not before, tonight is why they got John Ogrodnik, because he is capable of getting 3 goals in a pressure situation in Stanley Cup play. And what happened tonight, I don't care if Brent Ashton gets 50 goals and wins the Smythe Trophy. What happened tonight made that trade worthwhile for the Nordiques.
Ogrodnik, after the trade, had only 11 goals, and he finished with his career low total of 23 in the regular season, but he did come up with the key ones tonight, and the final is 7-5. We'll return with more from the Civic Center right after this. We are back at the Civic Center. The Whalers hope they will be back one more time. Of course, they would have to force a 7th game in this series, and that would be here at the Civic Center on Saturday night at 7:35, and SportsChannel, of course, would cover it with ahead of the game at 7:15. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, Jerry. First of all, let's concern ourselves with what's going on out of town in Stanley Cup play.
Okay, Rick, at Philadelphia, the Flyers continue to lead 2-1, and they're in the third period. The Islanders are getting back into this series. They lead the Washington Caps 3-2 at the Capitol Center. As you can see, Washington leads the series 3-1, so they're facing elimination. The Islanders are. St. Louis, who can play good defense when needed. They lead the Toronto Maple Leafs 1-0. Edmonton, who I'm not so sure can play good defense when they need it. They lead the Los Angeles Kings 1-0 in the first. And I believe Calgary's leading the Jets 1-0 in the first period.
So that updates you on what's going on in Stanley Cup play. Now let's get back to talking about Game 6 in this one. The Nordiques faced a difficult challenge. They had won in this building all year. They came in, they persevered, they certainly had the special teams going, and they won. Now the Whalers face the same challenge in Quebec.
They certainly do, Rick. And I still maintain from day one I ever started playing hockey, if you're going to win a series or a division or a conference or a championship, you have to win on the other team's rink. And if the Whalers want to win this series, they're going to have to win on the other team's rink. If the Nordiques survive and win the series, they have won on the other team's rink. So obviously, the Whalers only get one more chance at it. That's Thursday. It's do or die. I know it's an old cliche, but I expect the Whalers to do what they've did all year. Surprise a lot of people and come out and play the game and the game of the season for them, and it'll be a good game.
Well, they've met the challenges certainly all year long in gaining the Adams Division title. And, of course, as you saw here on Sports Channel, that crowd is crazy in Quebec City. If the Nordiques come out and get off to a running start, it could be over early. If the Whalers ever needed an early start and a productive start, it would be Thursday night.
Rick, the key to that is certainly going to be that the Whalers get the first couple of goals. And as we saw what happened tonight with the success of the Nordique power play, penalties, they can't take any Thursday. They got to bite the bullet. If someone gives them a shot, turn the other cheek and get the heck out of there like Wallace did on the first shift tonight. They're in no position to retaliate. They're in no position to slash. They're in no position to hook from behind if they get a little lazy coming out of their end. You got to bite the bullet. You finally got to pay the prices Thursday to win a hockey game.
Well, Jerry, I hope you're 100% for Thursday, and we'll certainly look forward to the Whalers and the Nordiques clashing for the 6th time of this series, and the Whalers are facing elimination. The final score tonight, the Quebec Nordiques 7 and the Hartford Whalers 5. For our producer Jim Edmonds and Jerry Cheevers, Rick Peckham saying goodnight from the Hartford Civic Center.
Hartford Whalers Hockey is brought to you by Michelob Light, superb taste and less filling beer. By your local Dodge dealer. By Joe D's Sound Centers with convenient locations throughout Connecticut. By Aetna and its independent insurance agents. Work with the best in the business. Aetna.